before. I learned to let things go. Good night to the version of myself I didn't fully know. Good night to the fears I carried like a coat too heavy worn. Good night to the heart that kept on loving even while it mourned. You served me well, old self. You kept me walking through the years. You held the music playing even through the worst of fears. But tonight I lay you gently down beside the dying flame, and welcome in the man who carries forward just the same. Good night to the man I was, Lord. He did the best he could. Good night to the man I was, Lord. He stood where he stood. Smooth jazz playing gentle over everything he gave. Good night to the man I was, Lord. He was incredibly brave. Good night to the sleepless nights I spent in worry's bed. Good night to the unkind things I let live in my head. Good night to the small surrenders that I made along the way. Good night to every version of myself that had to pay the price of growing into something closer to the truth, of finding in the later years what I had missed in youth. The harmonica says goodbye with something like a smile, because it knows the road ahead is worth every mile. Come from here. Good morning to the life that's waiting just beyond the fear. Good morning to the love I'm gonna give more fully now. Good morning to the music and the man I'm making vow to play the blues with more of everything I have inside, to love the ones beside me with a more transparent pride, to say the things that matter while the night is still and low, and to let the smooth Chicago jazz tell everyone I know, Lord, thank you for the man I was in all his complicated ways, and thank you for the man becoming in these better days. Let the goodbye and the hello ring out as one same song. Let the blues carry me forward where I've always belonged. Lord, he did the best he could. Good night to the man I was, Lord. He stood where he stood. Smooth jazz playing gentle over everything he gave. Good night to the man I was, Lord. incredibly brave. Incredibly brave, baby. Every night.
Good night to the man I was.
Good morning to the light. Good morning home. Gratitude at midnight for the life I get to live, for the music in these hands and everything I get to give, for the mornings that keep coming when the nights have been too long, for the blues that turns the broken into something like a song. I count the people who have loved me in the soft and quiet hour, the ones who held their lantern in my most difficult and dark. And the harmonica says thank you in the only way it knows, in the slow and beautiful Chicago blues that always flow. Gratitude at midnight, Lord, for everything I have. Gratitude at midnight, Lord, for the good and for the bad. Smooth jazz playing thankful through the candlelit room. Gratitude at midnight, Lord, for the gift of this tune. That have taught me what I keep. Grateful for the wakeful nights that guarded my best sleep. Grateful for the loves that left because they showed me where I stood. And grateful for the one who stayed and loved me as she could. Grateful for the music that was always at my side, for the blues that gave me something when I had nowhere to hide, for the jazz that smoothed the edges of the roughest of my years, and for the harmonica that played beside my private tears. For the ordinary Tuesday afternoons, for the coffee and the radio and the comfortable rooms, for the way the light falls different in the late October days, for the friends who know my stories and my complicated ways, for this guitar across my lap at midnight playing low, for the blues that always takes me somewhere beautiful to go, for the life that has been harder than I ever thought I'd bear, and somehow more than everything I ever thought I'd share. Lord, let gratitude be how I end each day I live. Let thankfulness be the finest thing I have to give. Let the midnight blues be always one of counting what remains, instead of measuring the losses or the weight of all the pains. Gratitude at midnight, Lord, for everything I have. Gratitude at midnight, Lord, for the good and for the bad. Smooth jazz playing thankful through the candlelit room. Gratitude at midnight, Lord, for the gift of this tune. Gift of this tune, baby. Every night.
Gratitude at midnight.
Gratitude at midnight. In the soft candlelight. In the light. I'm not the man I was when all of this began. I've shed a few old versions on the way to who I am. Left them in the cities and the seasons of the past, learning which parts of myself were built to last. The blues has been the chisel and the music been the stone, carving something truer from the man I'd always known. And the harmonica breathes forward in a way it didn't used to do, like it knows the man I'm becoming is already coming through. The man I am becoming, Lord, is someone I can love. The man I am becoming fits like a comfortable glove. Smooth jazz playing forward into all that I will be. The man I am becoming is the truest version of me. I am learning how to forgive myself for everything that passed, for the years I spent on detours and the shadows that I cast. Because the man I am becoming needed every one of those. Every wrong direction was the teacher that he chose. I am learning how to say the things that matter while I can, how to love out loud the way the music has its plan, how to hold the ones I love with both these grateful hands, and to plant myself more firmly in the place where my soul stands. By the morning I will be a little more than yesterday. By next year, I recognize myself in a different way. The man I am becoming is a patient work of art, a slow Chicago blues played beautifully from the heart. Not the finished masterpiece, but something better still. The living, breathing canvas being painted with goodwill. The jazz of a man in motion toward the best of what he'll be is the most romantic song I know, and it belongs to me. Lord, let me keep it coming all the way until the end. Let the man I am tomorrow be the better of my friend. Let the blues of my becoming be the finest that I play, and let the smooth Chicago jazz guide every becoming day. The man I am becoming fits like a comfortable glove. Smooth jazz playing forward into all that I will be. The man I am becoming is the truest version of me. The truest version, baby. Every night, the man I am becoming walks into the light, walks home. I used to hide my scars beneath the best of what I wore, cover them with confidence and lock them with a door. Pretend that I arrived here without any of the cost, without the roads that broke me or the loves I've won and lost. But the blues has always known the truth beneath the suit, has always played the story from the branches to the root. And the harmonica speaks clearly what the voice sometimes won't say. Every scar has a song, and every song has found its way. Every scar has a song, Lord, and I know everyone. Every scar has a song, Lord, from the rain to the sun. Smooth jazz playing the story of a life completely lived. Every scar has a song, Lord, and every song forgives. The scar from the year that I lost everything I'd built, has a song in a minor key and carries just a lilt of something learned in losing that the having never taught, of knowing what is precious by the price for which it's bought. The scar from the love that left before I understood its worth has a slow and beautiful song about the quality of earth, how the broken ground receives the seed and holds it safe and true, and the loss became the garden that eventually grew. With a kind of quiet pride that comes from walking through the fears. Each one is a credential of a life completely felt. Each one is a hand of cards that I have fully dealt. And the music that I make tonight contains them all entire. Every scar a note within the one great constant choir of a man who has been broken and has mended and has grown, and whose deepest blues are also his most beautiful. And oh Lord, let the scarred ones know that what they carry is their art. Let the broken places be the most creative parts. Let every wound become a window, letting in more light, and every scar become a song, most beautiful at night.
Every scar has a song, Lord.
Lord, and I know everyone.
Every scar has a song, Lord.
Lord, from the rain to the sun, smooth jazz playing the story of a life completely lived. Every scar has a song, Lord, and every song forgives. Every song forgives, baby. Every night, every scar has a song that leads us to the light, leads us home. Leads us home. She was not a place, but she was always home to me. The kind of home that only certain people ever get to be. I could walk inside the room where she was sitting in her chair and feel the whole world settle like she rearranged the air. She made the ordinary into something worth arriving for. A cup of tea, a book, the sound of rain against the door, and the harmonica inside my chest would quiet to a hum. The restless man in me would simply stop and just become. She was my home, Lord, and now now the door is closed. She was my home, Lord, and now nobody knows. Smooth jazz echoing soft in these empty rooms. She was my home, Lord, in all her afternoon perfumes. I have traveled many miles since the home of her has gone, searching for that feeling of belonging and of own, of being exactly where I need to be, without a doubt, the way I was whenever she was in and I was out. Coming back to something that was always waiting there, a warmth that was specifically and only hers to share. The guitar misses her the way it misses its best song, the one that made the player know exactly where they belong. I keep her photograph beside the lamp that burns at night, and talk to her the way I always did when things weren't right. She always had a way of making everything make sense, of taking all the complicated and removing all the tense. Now I am learning how to be the home that she once was, to carry what she taught me, just because the home she made inside me never fully left. It stayed inside the music and the blues after the theft. Lord, let the ones who are someone's home know what they are. Lord, let them understand they are the most important star. Not the grand ones burning bright in everybody's sky, but the quiet, constant one that certain souls navigate by. She was my home, Lord, and now the door is closed. She was my home, Lord, and now nobody knows. Smooth jazz echoing soft in these empty rooms. She was my home, Lord, in all her afternoon perfumes. Afternoon perfumes, baby, still here tonight. She was my home, Lord. She was my life. She was my life. She was my life. She was my life. I used to fill the silence with whatever noise I could find, afraid of what the quiet would reveal about my mind. I played the music loud to cover what I didn't want to hear, and called the crowd around me so that silence wouldn't hear. But somewhere in the long and empty evenings of my years, I learned to sit inside the quiet without the usual fears, and the harmonica played softer than it ever had before. And in the space between the notes I found what I'd been looking for. Learning to love the silence. Lord, it took me all these years. Learning to love the silence on the other side of fears. Smooth jazz playing soft in all the spaces in between. Learning to love the silence and all the things it means. The silence holds my mother's voice from 30 years ago. It holds the laugh of someone that I loved and let go. It holds the version of myself I was before the noise, the boy who sat and listened to the simple morning joys. Now I sit inside the silence like a man who has arrived at the destination that the quieter part of me has strived to reach through all the decades of distraction and the sound. The silence that I always needed, finally found. I play the blues now quieter than the silence that surrounds, finding all the music in the space between the sounds. The jazz has taught me that the rests are just as much the song as every note you play and every place you belong. And now the silence feels like home instead of like a threat, a comfortable old chair in which I haven't sat yet enough. But now I'm sitting longer and I'm listening better too, and the silence keeps on teaching me the things I never knew. Lord, let me love the silence the way the music loves the rest. Let me find in quiet what the noise is always suppressed. Let the space between the notes become my favorite place, and let the silence show me, Lord, your quiet, smiling face. Learning to love the silence. Lord, it took me all these years. Learning to love the silence on the other side of fears. Smooth jazz playing soft in all the spaces in between. Learning to love the silence and all the things it means. All the things it means, baby, all tonight. Learning to love the silence in the fading light. In the light. kind of strong that never raises up its voice. The kind of strong that's built on patience and on choice. It doesn't need the world to know how much it has endured. It just keeps moving forward, quietly assured. I learned this kind of strong from years of playing blues alone, from sitting with the music in the marrow of the bone. The harmonica taught me how to breathe through what is hard, and the guitar showed me strength that doesn't need a guard. The quiet kind of strong, Lord, that's what I have become. The quiet kind of strong that doesn't need a drum. Smooth jazz breathing low and steady through the night. The quiet kind of strong is my only light. The loudest men I've known have been the first ones to give in. The quietest have been the ones who always found a win. Not by force or fury, but by staying in the song, by playing through the difficult and carrying it long. I have been the quiet kind of strong when no one was around, when the only witness was the music and its sound. And the blues rewarded every quiet act of will, with a note so true it makes the loudest darkness still. Now I wear my quiet strong like a well-tailored coat. It fits me in the shoulders and it warms me at the throat. I don't need the validation of the noise around me now. I just need the music and the quiet strength somehow, of knowing that I made it through the years that tried their best and still came out the other side and passed the quiet test. The blues has been my teacher and the jazz has been my guide to the quiet kind of strong that lives forever inside. Lord, let the quiet strong be what I pass along, not the shouting and the fury, but the dignified strong song. Let the blues teach every broken soul that strength can be serene, and the most powerful among us are the quiet in between. The quiet kind of strong, Lord, that's what I have become. The quiet kind of strong that doesn't need a drum. Smooth jazz breathing low and steady through the night. The quiet kind of strong is my only light. My only light, babe. My only tonight. The quiet kind of strong is my guiding light, guiding home. Guiding home. I've been defined by everything that tried to break me down. Carried every broken piece like pieces of a crown. Let the weight of other people's words become my only truth. Lost somewhere between the man I am and the one of my youth. But the blues has been a mirror showing me what's still intact. Every string I play a declaration of the fact that I am more than what has broken me along the way. I am more than what the hardest years have tried to say. I am more than what broke me, Lord. I am standing here. I am more than what broke me, Lord. I am still right here. Smooth jazz rising powerful above the broken ground. I am more than what broke me, Lord. Hear this sound. I am the sum of every sorrow I have managed to survive. Every morning after darkness that reminded me I'm alive. I am the blues I played at midnight when I had nothing left. I am the breath that kept on coming after every breathless theft. Of everything I thought I needed to be who I am, and found out I was always more than just the also ran. The music in these hands was never given by the world outside. It came from something deeper, something permanent inside. Today I play the blues not as a man who has been beaten, but as a man who knows that he has never been completely eaten by the storms or by the losses or the years of heavy weather. I have bent but never broken, and I put myself together. And the music that I play tonight is different than before. It carries something lighter that was always at the core. The jazz is smooth and confident, the way I'm learning to be. I am more than what broke me, and at last I'm starting to see. Lord, let every broken man know what the music has taught me, that the breaking is the making of the soul that break and start. Let the blues become the proof that we are more than our worst days. Let the smooth jazz be the anthem of the stronger, better ways. I am more than what broke me, Lord. I am standing here. I am more than what broke me, Lord. I am still right here. Smooth jazz rising powerful above the broken ground. I am more than what broke me, Lord. Hear this sound. Hear this sound, Lord. Hear it tonight. I am more than what broke me. I am walking to the light, walking home. After every storm I have ever lived through, the sky eventually remembered how to be blue. After every night that felt too long to bear, the morning always showed up, breathing fresh, clean air. I have been through storms that I was sure would never end, storms that took my shelter and my dearest friend. But the harmonica kept playing through the very worst of it, and the blues became the thing that helped me learn to sit. After the storm, there is always blue. After the storm, there is always something new. Smooth jazz clear and soft above the passing rain. After the storm, there is always less of pain. I have learned that I am stronger than the things that broke me down, stronger than the losing and the wearing of the crown of sorrow that I wore so long I thought it was my skin, until the music helped me see the light still held within. Blues is not about the storm, it is about the after. It is about the finding of the small and quiet laughter, the gentle understanding on the other side of pain, that the man you are is cleaner for the falling of the rain. Now I sit beside this window, watching the last clouds move, and play the blues in the most comfortable groove. Not the blues of suffering, but the blues of having known that every storm you walk through makes you more your own. The sky is turning colors that the storm kept hidden long, and the music in my hands is playing something strong. Not the broken song I played in the middle of the rain, but the song that comes to those who make it through the pain. Lord, thank you for the storm, and thank you for the blues. Thank you for the music that helped carry me through. Let every storm I face become a song worth singing loud, and let me find the blue sky on the other side of every cloud. After the storm, there is always blue. After the storm, there is always something new. Smooth jazz, clear and soft above the passing rain. After the storm, there is always less of pain. After the storm, there is always something new. I have been walking roads that led me far from who I was, loving in the wrong directions just because. But tonight I lit a candle in the quiet of this room, play the blues to push away the last of all the gloom. The guitar knows me better than I know myself at times. Every string a sentence and every chord a rhyme, and the harmonica breathes something soft into the air, like a reminder that the man I was is still in there. The road back to myself is long, but I have found the way. The road back to myself begins again today. Smooth jazz, light and soft, the path I need to take. The road back to myself is every note I make. I have blamed the rain for everything the drought has done. I have blamed the night for stealing all the sun, but the blues has taught me something in its slow and steady way, that the only road worth walking starts with where you are today. Friends told me who I was before the years went wrong, and the music brought it back in every note and every song, because the man who plays the blues at midnight in the low is the same man he has always been beneath the sorrow. I'm learning how to love myself the way the music does, without condition and without the complicated fuss. The blues accepts me completely in whatever state I bring, and plays me back to myself on every single string. By the time the morning comes, I will have found my way back to the man I want to be at the beginning of the day. The road back to myself was never somewhere out ahead. It was always in the music and the life I'd always led. Lord, let the music lead me back to who I need to be. Lord, let the blues remind me of the man that I am free. Let every note I play tonight become a step toward home. Let the road back to myself be one I never walk alone. things again today. Smooth jazz, light and soft, the path I need to take, the road back to myself is every note I make. Every note I make, baby, every night. The road back to myself leads me to the light, leads me